I saw there, and also what I'm finding in the NASA and European Space Agency photographs of Mars, conforms to one of the leading theories of cosmology of our solar system, which is that around 9500 BC, debris elements from the Vela supernova explosion came into our solar system, and they struck a planet that mathematics indicates should be where the asteroid belt is. And this debris also struck Mars and pummeled the surface of Mars. So you can see large boulders. In certain locations on Mars, there are these massive boulders that have been laid down, just like a giant hand threw them down on the ground like marbles. And they're actually sitting in the soil. But you can clearly see that they're huge meteorites that entered the Martian atmosphere and landed on the surface. Mars was pummeled during that, and there was major damage to its biosphere. It was also fractured. And I think some of these large worms that we're seeing are actually glassine engineering projects to fill the seams of a fractured Mars. I'm conjecturing that the deep underground military base construction on Earth may be a contingency plan for the possibility that Mars may actually fragment as a result of that 9500 BC event. That may also explain why the humanoids on Mars are seeking to come to Earth. That's all conjectural, however. I have no direct evidence that that's the case. Mm-hmm. But Mars was pummeled and squished into an oblate spheroid, more oblate than planet Earth, which is also an oblate spheroid. We're not living on a perfect sphere. It's kind of squished. But Mars is even more squished and was devastated by that. And it was that celestial event that ended the great maritime civilization on Earth that built the Great Pyramid, the Sphinx, and the great platform at Baalbek in Lebanon, which was the spaceport of that civilization. And the linkage between that ancient Egyptian and ancient Mars civilization is not only found in the work of individuals like Hoagland, Barra, and Hancock and Boval, but now in my work, under the aegis of the Mars Anomaly Research Society, we just published a paper that shows the intaglio of the head of a pharaoh on the edge of a rock on Mars, so that when you look closely at this edge of the rock, you have clearly the identifiable head of a pharaoh with the cobra ready to strike motif of Wadjet, which was the Lord Protector of Lower Egypt that became the protector of the dynastic Egypt under the pharaohs. And when you look at that corner, the corner of the rock is clearly a pyramid. So this pharaoh is actually sitting in front of a pyramid shape, very much like the Sphinx is located. And it's undeniably a rock carving or intaglio. It may even be a stamp in an artificial substance. We're not sure it's a rock. It may be a piece of metal. But it's a sunken image of the head and hat and chest of a pharaoh. It's a bust of the pharaoh, just like the iconic bust of Nefertiti that the German archaeologist Gustav Borchardt found at Amarna, Egypt in 1912, which is now in the Berlin Museum in Germany. So it's a classic image of an Egyptian pharaoh. So that's some of the significance of the work that we're doing at Mars right now. Is we're proving this theory that there was this ancient connection. I might add there was another major figure in this area, which was Carl Munk, studying the D&M pyramid site south of the face on Mars at Cydonia. Established that the allocation of monuments there is consistent with similar sites found at the Giza site in Egypt, at Avebury in England, and at Washington, D.C.
Yes.
So the Masonic tradition that links ancient Egypt, medieval England, and the modern United States civilization actually replicated an allocation of monuments that's at or near the Cydonia site. So we must cite the significant work done by Carl Munk in collaboration with Richard Hoagland to verify that site on Mars. My point is that the photo analysis of the data from the Mars rover's Spirit and Opportunity is now capturing things like literally an image from that Egyptian civilization, the intaglio of the bust of a pharaoh. And that's what makes the Mars research we're doing so exciting. We're literally finding the fingerprint of that Egyptian civilization on stone monuments on Mars.
Yes.
So now we have both the micro and the macro evidence establishing that ancient connection. So that was an interplanetary federation that linked Earth and Mars and probably another planet, and that federation was destroyed during that event.